Hello and welcome to my latest video. In this video, I will be reviewing the Radious mod for Total War Attila. Now, for those of you that have played Total Wars in the past, you probably know who Radious is. He's a pretty big deal in the Total War community. He is an absolute beast when it comes to modding. So, as you can imagine, I was pretty excited when I heard that his mod for Attila was finally out. This was actually a couple of months ago that it was released, and he has just been polishing and updating it ever since. I will be reviewing the Total War mod itself. He also has a mod called Radious Total Units, in which he adds, oh god, it's got to be close to 75 to 100 units to the game. There's also a mod not done by Radious, but it's called an Additional Units mod. He does support it. And then there is also a mod I have here that I will be reviewing called Cinematic Combat. It's the blood mod. It pretty much just makes things extremely gory and bloody and more lifelike. So let's get started here with this Total War mod. Now, pretty much what Radious does is he takes what we want as a community with Total War games and he just pretty much implements them. Any problem that we have seen in the past, he just takes it, he fixes it, and he puts it in this mod. You know, most of this mod people are in love with. There are some small things that people don't like, but you know, to each his own. So let's get started with some changes here. Now, to start with the campaign changes, Radious has pretty much done a complete economic overhaul on the entire economy system. He rebalanced everything. This includes there's building effects, the costs to construct buildings, sanitation effects, squalor, food, public order, I mean, you name it, it has been rebalanced. Also, religion, cultural conversion, and population growth all rebalanced as well. So it does make it a bit more challenging, and it takes some of the broken parts and evens it out as well. So you'll notice the economy itself is a lot more stable. Now also he has new army, navy, and agent limits as well. So pretty much he increased those, especially the army limits, tremendously. I mean, it, when you're at Fame 7, you can field up to 40 armies, which you can imagine. So, that's one thing that people do not like. They feel as if the computer can be a little bit overwhelming with all those armies roaming around. But if you play it smart, that it shouldn't be an issue. But also your navy has been increased, your agents and your edicts have also been increased as your fame increases. So look forward to that. Also, the zone of control for armies has been reduced, the roaming armies. You're not going to control as much zone as you normally would. This is a good one here. The unit minimum strength has been increased from 5 to 15. So what that means is pretty much when you're on a battlefield, you're beating the crap out of units. They get dwindled down to 6 or 7 people, and they start routing away. They're not gonna regroup and come back at that low. It has to be a minimum of 15 for a unit to regroup and enter the battle again. So with that said, that will make cleaning up the ends of battles a lot easier. You don't have to chase them all around the map. There's also been some small fixes, such as a small rebalance of army action points. Civil wars can be avoided even at highest fame levels. Your generals and armies get 3 skill points from level 3, so that's good. He rebalanced the amount of experience needed for units to level up, so they do level up quite quickly. Look forward to that as well. There's a couple of other small things that also, guys, the stuff that I'm reading here is from the change logs on the Total War Center website. I will put that link in there so you can read all of them yourself. There's just too much for me to read here. But some of the more important things, he did rebalance conquest decisions, so there'll be more options and potential gold income from various decisions that you make. Also, another thing that some people did not like here, he made it so only nomads can raise settlements. There are some people who like to play certain factions that just like to go through the map and just raise everything and burn the world to the ground. He made it so, a little more realistic that just the nomad factions can do that as well. Let's see some more important things here. Well, the improved garrisons, he improved them for all factions in their main and minor city buildings. It's a progressive system, so pretty much the higher tier buildings that you have, they're going to provide you better soldiers to defend them. So that's very good. He definitely tweaked the family tree. units. He made it a little more interesting to play with. Loyalty factors have been rebalanced, and one thing I noticed when playing, loyalty in vanilla is not really an issue. You really don't have to worry about loyalty at all. But when you play with this mod, you do have to, worry about the decisions you make when it comes to promotions, you know, making people governors of settlements and things like that. Because if you neglect one person more than another, their loyalty will waver. And I've noticed several times. I had a couple of characters when I was playing the Visigoths. I had to do some very serious, I don't know if you want to call it bribery or whatever it is, but just to get their loyalty back up because they were not happy. They got, people that were lower ranked than them promoted above them. And yeah, it's more realistic. You do have to deal with those situations in the Radious Total War mod. The colonized settlement cost, that's been reduced to 12,000. It's still expensive, but I mean, if you've ever tried to colonize a settlement that's been raised, you can. It's just ridiculously expensive at times, and it's like not even worth it. So that has been reduced. There's been changes to the building recruitment system. He reworked unit replacements. About 65% of them were removed, and units got their own recruitment requirements. More unit variety in campaigns for all factions. So you're not going to have, an army with like 10 of spearmen and a 10 of a certain type of swordsman. Like it's going to be a lot more variety involved. And he rebalanced the general and the army skills. That's pretty much most of the campaign changes. Now he also has some battle changes as well. These are very important as well. He has complete battle and unit rebalance. So pretty much every single unit in this game has its stats, costs, upkeeps, abilities, weapons, everything you can name has been rebalanced. And the reason he did this was to make battles more, longer, more enjoyable, and more tactical. And that could not be more true with this mod. You'll notice when you are fighting a battle, the video I have on the screen is a naval battle that I was just messing around for the video, so don't go by that. But when you have a very serious, land or even naval battle, you really have to be tactical in order to win that battle. You can't just, rush in, bombard them, and expect them to rout, because it does not happen that way here. Also, he has a new morale system. It's progressive during battle. It changes very rapidly, actually. If you have your left flank is wavering, let me tell you, your entire left flank is going to start wavering, and you have to do whatever you can. Run your general over there, reinforce with cavalry, things like that, to get their morale back to where it needs to be, or your line will break. And the same thing goes for the computer, the AI. It's the same way. If you can find a weak spot in a battle line and you can exploit it, that battle line will break. Not just one unit, but all of the surrounding units around them. So it's very, very realistic battles here. It is definitely longer and more interesting battles, that's for sure. Now he introduced a new weapon and a shield tier system. Pretty much what that means is, your tier 1 spearmen are not going to have the same shield as like your elite guard spearmen type of, units. He reworked everything so that the higher the tier of unit, the better their weaponry and shields and armor and all that will be as well. Also, every single weapon has its stats rebalanced, and I mean every single weapon. Same as the stats, the bonuses versus infantry, cavalry, elephants, every single armor, shield, it's all been rebalanced. When you fight a battle using this mod, you're gonna see that. It's very difficult to just go in and slaughter people. You have to very much use tactics and things like that. He's also, he reworked some unit formations and spacing, so it does look, more realistic. They're not just marching in perfectly even straight lines. If you're looking close when they're marching or running, a couple of soldiers here and there will be spaced out a little bit ahead. Some people are faster than others, so that's also been reworked. He also has a complete rebalance of all projectiles as well. Every single bow, javelin, sling, and crossbow has been edited to offer larger differences between the types. That includes ranges, reload times, damages. Everything has been reworked to be more realistic. It's not, a tier 1 bow is obviously not going to do the same damage as a crossbow being fired. So that's all been pretty much fixed and worked out. Also, he removed fire arrows from horse archers, simply because fire scares the you-know-what out of them. And I mean, it makes sense. Fire arrows being shot into cavalry in this game, in vanilla even, provide a bonus because it does scare the horses. So why should you be able to ride in the back of one shooting a fire arrow? So he took that out, and that's pretty important, especially if you're playing the Hun faction. And now something else here that I really like, he doubled the health of walls and the small city barricades. So you can't just have one catapult and sack Rome or Constantinopolis or things like that. It's just not realistic, and he definitely fixed that. So you'll have to bring some serious firepower to siege, especially the larger settlements, and it will take you a little longer to break down those little, makeshift little walls that they put to block you inside the settlement. So look forward to that also. Now he rebalanced all of the unit abilities. Every single ability got its stats, effects, duration changes, all of that stuff reworked and rebalanced. And once again, that plays into just having longer, more even battles, pretty much. And it shows. Trust me, guys, it does show. A couple of other smaller things here. The fatigue system has been rebalanced. Your soldiers do get tired pretty quickly in battles, but once they're out of combat for a moment or two, they refresh very quickly. So that falls back into that whole tactical thing. If you're getting just beat on and your units are exhausted, you can fall back and regroup, go into the woods, and come back into the combat a couple of moments later. So that's very good as well. He did increase the ammo for all ranged units. Yeah, I mean, with the archers and the crossbowmen and things like that, they do have a lot of ammo. So I mean, that definitely helps, especially in sieges and stuff like that, if you're trying to whittle down their defenders on the walls, which, as you already know, can be tough, but that definitely helps as well. He increased the reload time for the towers, the stone and the wooden towers, by 50%. And with that said, he slightly reduced their damage by 20%. So they're firing more often, but they're not just wiping out 2 or 3 units with a single arrow. So sieges are definitely they're not as easy as you would think. Okay, he does have some small AI changes, things like he reworked the recruitment system with the AI. They produce more balanced armies. Like in vanilla, you'll see an army of like 18 levy spearmen and 2 archers. Come on, no, that's just not realistic. So he changed that. There's a much more balanced and various type of armies. But yeah, like I said, I will put the link to all of these changes, and they're updated as he does them. There's a ton of them. I mean, you can literally sit here for an hour just reading the changes that he does to this mod in this game. So I'll put that link below, and you can click on that and just read it at your discretion if you are interested. So I do encourage you to do that as well. Now the next mod that I wanted to review here is also done by Radious. It's called Radious Total Units mod. I'll also put a link down below for you to download this as well. As you can see, this is just the beginning here. This was the first, when he first installed it months ago, he had about 5 units, 4 or 5 for each faction that he added into the game. I mean, they're not just elite units that are going to just plow through everyone. I mean, a lot of them just balance the game out. As you can see here, the Huns, he added, swordsmen, spearmen, some archers and things like that just pretty much makes the game more balanced and fun. Now since then he's added countless amounts more. There's units added for each DLC that they have as well. It's just countless amounts of units, and there's very good detail put into these units as well. You wouldn't be able to notice that they were created by someone other than CA. They have very vibrant colors. Some of them have large shields. It's amazing. I do have a video coming up in just about a minute here that will show you some of these units, and you can see the detail that he put into them. So this one's called unit Radious Total Units. It's just separate from the actual Total War mod for Attila that Radious made, but definitely worth investing into it. It makes the game a lot more balanced and fun. especially when you're doing some PvP online. You have just a lot more units to choose from and a lot more variety. It balances the game out quite a lot. And actually, let me get some video up here of some of these units in action themselves. Also, there is another mod that adds units. It's called Additional Units mod, and some of these units are here as well. You can see some of the Hunnic Noble archers that they added into the game there. But yeah, Additional Units mod is another mod that I used here when testing out this Radious mod. It's completely compatible with it. He supports it 100%. And this mod itself adds even more units to the game. So if you're playing just the vanilla version of this game, it's very bland. It's why they call it vanilla. You end up having battles where spearmen are fighting spearmen, and levy archers and all this other crap is just all over the battlefield, and it's not very fun or interesting. So downloading these mods definitely increases the fun factor of Attila Total War by far. You can see the detail that they put. These are the created units that Radious made. So can you tell that they're not done by CA? I can't. It's the amount of work that he put into this is just, it's amazing. I mean, and it does add some color to the game. An otherwise gray game that I was not very impressed with at first until this mod came out. So here are some of the, this is just a small little battle I staged to show you just a few of the newer units that he implemented into the game. These are just the Huns and I forget who else I was fighting again. The Danes. Okay. So yeah, this is just a couple of units that they had, them pretty badass looking two-hand axemen. So I'm just gonna fast forward the battle a little bit here just to let you see them in action. Now these cavalry that he added, the white Huns, actually are pretty elite, pretty badass themselves. They're trying to catch me with some spikes there, but yeah, these two cavalry alone, these archer cav and spear cav, just they annihilated this army I was facing. I mean, it's not a huge army, I know, but for two cavalry units to just run through them like I did here, you can see they're pretty elite. And you can't have these units unless you do have these mods. So once again, just check them out, give them a try. You never know, you might like them. I mean, I absolutely loved it, and I won't go back to playing the original version of this game. If I'm not using this Radius mod, I don't think that I'll play it. So I am very impressed with what he's done with this mod. As you can see, they just absolutely ripped through the raid leader here, the general unit of the Danes, and they're just gonna continue to mop up. These two-handed axes are pretty deadly. I had to run away from them. I mean, you'll see them later in this video. I do have a video of the blood pack, and these units are just chopping heads off, chopping arms off, and it's just absolute gore, total carnage, which most of us love and play this game for. So yeah, I mean, it's not just these units. Pretty much every faction in the game that you can play has 5 to 10 new units that they added between the Radius Total Units mod and the Additional Units mod. That's the name of the two mods that I use here for to add all these extra units. Oh god, that downhill charge is just devastating. But yeah, but you can. I would like to know what you guys think about it as well. So click the links below. Definitely download these mods, try them out. Let me know how you feel about it, because they do read these comments. They do watch the videos that we post, and they change the game accordingly. These modders, especially Radius. So yeah, those are some crossbowmen added to the Nordic units, which they didn't have. So in all of the Nordic units, the Danes, the Jutes, Geats, the Viking units, I'm sorry, they have been added crossbowmen. So it kind of, once again, evens the playing field out, because they were definitely lacking in that area. So just try out the different factions. Just set up some battles like I did here, and see how you like it. And definitely comment below and let me know what you think. Here are some more Hunnic units that are added by Radius himself. See him here. You know, I set up a little battle here. Every unit in this little battle that I staged are additional units that are not in the vanilla game. So you won't see any of these if you do not have these add-on packs, okay? So if you're interested in trying them out, you got to download the Radious mod. And now as I pan through this little battlefield here, you're going to see some of the units that have been added. Some Hunnic units here. I pretty much just made a little quick 3-on-2 battle. My allies are running away from me. Yeah, very nice, so I gotta catch up to them. But yeah, I'll display some of the units here so you can get an idea of what they do look like, and the amount of detail that has been put into creating these units, and they do add so much more variety to the game. So you can see they're kind of staggered. They're not all running exactly perfectly in order like a robotic army, because they're human. And they take different steps at different times. So that has been fixed also with the Radious Total War mod. Let's zoom forward here a little bit. We have, these are some of the best looking units in the game in my opinion here. Just look at the color variation that he added to the game, to the units I mean. You can see the shields are very ornate, and these are all additional units as well. You can see they have different colored shields, different symbols on some of their shields. Some of them have different colored cloaks, some of them have different helmets, different beard. Everything is just very unique with these units. Some more units here hiding in the woods. More of my allies here. Looks like some archers and various things of that. Yeah, some elite archers that have been added into the game as well. They're just some very, very cool looking units. And once I do engage in battle here, you're gonna see the blood. There was a blood and fire add-on pack that you had to purchase separately. It's like $3 or something like that, but it is totally worth it, in my opinion. It does add some realism to the battles, and the blood does stay on the ground. The bodies do stay on the ground for far longer than they do without this add-on pack. Look at those shields, how pretty badass that looks. That's a skirmisher unit as well that they added into the game through the Radious mod. Now you're going to see here, just a moment, we do engage in combat, and you're going to see the blood, the gore, the carnage. It is just outstanding. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, you're going to see, against cavalry there aren't too much beheadings and limbs being chopped off, but there are melee combat, and it is just out of control. Heads are flying, there's arms everywhere, there's blood spewing. You gotta remember, these people are getting their heads chopped off with swords. That's not a pretty thing. So this blood unit, it's called Cinematic Combat. You definitely want to get that. The reason, just in case anyone's wondering, that they didn't actually have to purchase it extra, they didn't put it in the game because they wanted to keep their rating at a certain level. And if you add, oh gee, look at that. If you add that into a game, just naturally and from the beginning, you're obviously going to have a mature rating. Oh, that guy just took an arrow to his throat. Yeah, that's the only reason that you do have to purchase it separately. But $3, times are tough for all of us, but $3 to me is worth it for this game, for this add-on pack. Alright, let's see here if we can get some better views at the carnage. You see the bodies are just everywhere. Look at the blood is just... Oh, look at that. It just adds so much realism to the game. And, again, the battles with this mod are longer, more realistic, so you do see more bodies just laying all over the battlefield. Blood, there's bodies crawling. It's just much more fun to me to play the game with this. Now, here's where we get to some real melee combat. You're going to really see some blood, some gore. This is a not so dramatic uphill charge by these two-handed axemen here, but just watch the heads roll. Oh, good lord, look. Oh, there goes an arm, there goes 3 more heads. The decapitations are very frequent. As you just see 3 more heads rolling downhill, but it's amazing to me the amount of detail put into this game. You can see the blood splattering all over the ground. Same thing goes for snowy battlefields. The blood does just go all over the snow and really stands out on the white background. We get he's got some reinforcements coming in, so that's just going to be some more blood for us to spew. But yeah, all in all, this mod to me is A plus. If I had to give it a grade, there's just so much that he fixed with the vanilla version that we just did not like. He listened and he added it, implemented it, and I'm guaranteeing that for every 10 people that download this mod, 10 people are going to love this mod. I mean, yeah, there'll be a couple of things that you might say, hey, I don't really like that too much, but the benefits far outweigh any of the negatives that you could possibly find with the Radius mod. So once again, I'll put the links down below. The main mod is called Radius Total War mod. It's for Attila Total War. If you play any of the past Total Wars, he has mods for those as well, most of them. And then he also has a Radius Total Units mod that you definitely want to get. Then there's another mod that's called Additional Units mod. Plain and simple, that's what it's called. Just type that into your Steam workshop and that subscribe to that as well. And then the cinematic combat. What cinematic combat does, it's not going to give you blood, just so no one's confused. Blood or fire, you have to get the add-on pack for that. But what the cinematic combat mod does is it increases the chance for all of these bloody animations to 100%. If you just have the blood and fire mod, it's only at 40%. So that just bumps it up to 100, and as you can see in this video, it is looking outrageous. I absolutely love the carnage. So yeah, I mean, with that said, very good mod. It makes the game Attila Total War extremely fun and extremely playable from the vanilla version. So do me a favor, download them, give them a try yourself, and just comment here and let me know how you feel about it. Some things you like, some things that you do not like. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is my first review type video, so I mean, hopefully I did okay in explaining some of the things that they add in the game, in the mods itself. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe. This is a new channel. I'm trying to be up and coming and grow the channel a bit and bring you guys all the gaming info and news that I can. So yep, once again, download, install, comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And thank you for watching, guys, and go have some fun playing Attila Total War.